Perfect. Perfect.
Hello and welcome to Beach Hour. Now, as you guys know, that I was traveling Europe for approximately 3 months back in 2018, and I drove a lot when I'm there. Like, just to give you an example, back over here in India, I travel approximately 25 to 30,000 kilometers in an entire year. In Europe, I did that same amount of distance in less than 3 months. I was basically going mad. And the reason why I was traveling so much is because I wanted to meet as many people as I can. Car specialists, independent guys, go to car events. I wanted to do as much as I can while I was there because time was short, resources were short, and I had to make the best out of it. That said though, there were times where I was sort of in the middle of 2 different appointments, and I thought that, if there is some free time which I have available for me, instead of rather just sitting and just chilling it out, I would rather go and drive on some of the roads and try finding some of the nice driving roads that these countries had to offer. Now with that said, I didn't want to go and explore the more popular driving routes which are there in France, and that is for 2 very good reasons. First of them is that these driving roads have been done and dusted so many times in videos, in magazines, and myself personally, I drove on some of them the last time when I was in Europe. And the second most important reason why I didn't want to go on these popular roads is because during the summers, these roads are packed and full to the brim, man. Like literally people from all across the world, driving enthusiasts, people who love nature, cyclists, all sort of people, they are just flocking onto these roads and cluttering them to an extent where you literally cannot enjoy driving on those roads anymore. So what I wanted to do instead is go on to the lesser known roads, go on to the roads which not many people have heard of but sound interesting. Of course, this meant that I had to discover these roads and I had to try searching for things and try finding some interesting roads where I can drive. And with that said, I want to start this video with one of the most popular roads out of all the roads that I found in France, and that is the French Riviera. From celebrities to locals to people from all around the world come to the south of France to holiday on the French Riviera's many coastal towns during the summers. From the sunny beaches and magnificent restaurants, the coastal road drive is lined up with yachts, sunbathing Europeans, and a thick laid-back atmosphere. You could drive along the coast all the way from Antibes to Monaco, where you can then drive on the iconic Monaco Grand Prix circuit after getting thoroughly lost in the tunnels around the small town's municipality. Heading up from the Mediterranean coast towards the French Alps, I was in search for a good base where I could stay for a few days to explore the French side of the mountains. This came to me as Grenoble, a small town surrounded by the Alps on 3 sides, making it a perfect base from where you can make short day trips into the different mountains around you. About 100 kilometers from Grenoble is one of the highest mountain passes that cyclists participating in the Tour de France cross over. Sitting at 8,600 feet above sea level, Col du Galibier was my first mountain pass to scale on the French Alps. And man, the view on top did not disappoint. Coming down on the other side of the mountain pass, you are once again greeted with lush greenery. You could make a turn back home, or if you're like me, then continue on. Since there are so many passes and very less time, I decided to head straight in search for the next desolate strip of road, which I found just 80 kilometers from the Col du Galibier. This pass is called the Col de la Croix de Fer, which in English translates to the Pass of the Iron Cross. This is one of the lesser known mountain passes on the French Alps, and it is a rather steep climb from the side which I went on. But it's all worth it once you reach the top. Find a nice place to perch and get a 360-degree view of what is around you. And the best part about this pass is still to come. Driving down on the other side of the pass, you are greeted with lush green mountains that are so high that at any given time of the day, the sun is merely able to peek from in between them. The endless greenery then gets a compliment from the gorgeous lake which is nestled between the 2 mountain peaks. Just standing there and taking it all in made my day one of the most special that I've experienced on the French Alps. Heading back into Grenoble, I felt so satisfied by where I have driven. But at the same time, I felt a little retaliation from my soul for leaving the gorgeousness behind. To that, the mountains replied, "Here's some more," and reflected on one of the most beautiful sunsets of my entire journey. Between Grenoble and Lyon are the Rhone Alps, a mountain range that hides a completely different sort of driving experience. These ranges are famous for what is known as the French balcony roads, as they offer some of the most spectacular views from a road that's hardly any wider than your average balcony. While there are balcony roads littered all across the Rhone Alps, all the way till the French Riviera, the ones closer to me were a trio of gorges that ran across the Vercors National Park. The first gorge to come my way was the Gorge de la Borne that snakes up into the mountains via its narrow and desolate road to reveal the full glory of the famous Prel Cliffs. This road is full of narrow tunnels that have been drilled into the rock, where you barely have enough space for one car width to go through. But trust me, the view through this gorge is one of the most spectacular ones that you can ever experience in this part of the country. Leaving the Borne Gorge towards Lyon, I headed towards yet another spectacular balcony road that connects back to the national highway network. Further ahead from the Prel Cliffs is the Gorge du Nan. While this road is just 8.8 km or 5.5 miles long, it is incredibly narrow, with sections that, if you come across any other vehicle, one of you will have to take a reverse and go back to almost up to a kilometer. This is especially scary when you realize the massive drop which is on the other side. Thankfully, I got to go on these gorges during a weekday, which meant that the traffic was less and I got safe from performing these death-defying maneuvers, only to be left with the enjoyable, truly memorable experience. France, like every other country that shares the Alps, has some of the most spectacular driving roads in the entire world. And while I could cover only these during my week-long stay in Grenoble, there are many other roads hidden in these mountains waiting to be explored. Driving here made me realize that 1 or even 2 or even 3 weeks in the Rhone Alps isn't enough to explore them all, but that's the charm of this place, that it'll always surprise you with something new and always want you to come back to explore more. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, do like, subscribe and share, and also do send this across to somebody else who you think likes to explore. I also hope that this video encourages you to explore new destinations that are off the beaten path yourself when you are in France or in any other country. And with that said, I hope to see you back in the next video. Until then, it's goodbye.